Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Women Warriors Wednesday. So excited to be here with you, ladies, today. I am excited about our topic, embrace self-love, finding joy and fun amidst the challenges. Because, girls, don't we always have challenges that come up and about in life? I don't know about you guys, but for me, 100%, I feel that way. So I'm excited to go over these with you today, talk about a couple of ways to interpret that, how that looks like in my life, and yeah, we're just gonna have some fun today. So welcome. Admittedly, today I am sitting down. Normally I do my videos when I'm standing and I'm like all over the place. So hopefully I can make it through this. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta try new things and make it fun. So whether you're here live or whether you're on the replay, please drop where you're at in the comments, where you from, how are you feeling today? I'm excited to share with you guys today about embracing self-love and finding joy amidst challenges because don't we all have challenges in our lives? If that's you and you can relate to saying, I've had challenges, say that's me in the comments. Don't forget to play along with me, ladies. I would love for you to play along with me, especially if my hashtag replay team. If you're here watching the replay, please let me know how you're doing, where you're from. Welcome to the group. Welcome to our Wednesday Warrior Live and or replay, wherever you're at. So excited to be here. Thank you for spending some time with me, for sharing your time, and for allowing me to be part of your journey to inspire self-love. We're going to go over a metaphor and a little story and, give you some statistic about why it's fun, like why fun and joy is important to look for, especially during our hard times in life. And of course, I want to leave you with a little framework so that you guys can leave here feeling a little bit empowered and to think of things as you are, experiencing life's challenges that we are all bound to face. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't know for sure that we'll go close to the full hour today. I would love to try to shorten the time. So it's fine. We don't need it to always take an hour, but it's fun to be here with you ladies. So welcome. Wherever you're joining from, drop it in the chat. I'm joining us here from Salt Lake City, Utah. Hey, love my Utah girls. Where you at? Love all my non-Utah people too. Drop what city you're in, what country you're in. This is an inclusive environment where a lot of us get to explore and enjoy life together. And maybe not always enjoy life together, but also support each other to grow and to learn and to learn how we can love ourselves, right? Like that, I think is one of the biggest key points that I'm here for is I didn't know how to love myself for a very long time. And so now here I am on a mission to empower women to break out of toxic negative relationships and to learn to love themselves so that they can find healthy relationships that they enjoy and that they are um, fulfilling, because we all deserve that. And the most important toxic relationship we need to break and the healthiest relationship we need to build is that one that we have with ourselves. So, welcome. All right, just a couple things I want to say as we get started is one, don't forget to play with me in the chat, be interactive with me, and let me know in your comment section how you're doing, even in the replay, ladies. Like, I love to hear from you, love to know how I can further support you. And by you asking questions, leaving your comments, I go back and read them, and it can give me future content ideas or how to better serve you. And so that we can, keep moving on this journey. So, the first thing I want to share with you guys about embracing self-love and finding joy amidst the challenges is that one, we're always going to be faced with challenges. So if you've never, ever, 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 ever experienced a challenge in your life, go ahead and put 0 in the comments. Oh, I don't see any. Okay, well, if you've experienced challenges in your life, go ahead. Let's type a 1 for saying we have experienced challenge. 1, that's me. I've experienced challenge, so many challenges, I don't even know where to begin. Have you ever felt like you can't make it through the challenges? If that's you, say that's me in the comments. That's me. Yeah, for me, that's me too. Definitely. All right, so are you ready to have fun and find joy even through the challenges? If you are, type I'm ready in the comments. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready. Woo woo. Yeah, we're ready. I'm ready. You're ready. We ready. All right, team replay. I'm ready. All right. Well, to go along with our having fun, I want us to think about what going through challenges looks like in a fun way, right? So, this really is like a perfect analogy and metaphor for where I've come from today because this last weekend we actually did a really fun photo shoot. So that's one of the things I do for myself to practice self-care and self-love is I love to go take some photos with this local photographer, Miss Bonnie's Joy. And oh, I can't tell you how much I love going to her empowerment women events. If you're here in Salt Lake and you've never been, please let me know. I would love to refer you. The first time you go, you get 50% off the event ticket. It's normally $50 and it's like an empowering event. I'll be there for some of the next ones to come. And you go and she has like a little workshop and then she takes these photos of you and whatever outfits you want. Usually she has at least 2 sets. And then yeah, we take photos and she does like these little empowerment workshops, kind of like this, but in her style for her themes, right? And this last theme was diamonds are a girl's best friend. And I don't know about you guys, but I love me some diamonds. I know I have like some fake diamonds here. I got some on my lips. I got like a little fake diamond on my nose ring that you probably can't see, but that's okay. And just like how diamonds are so brilliant and beautiful, so are you. And we're talking about challenges here, right, ladies? So not only are diamonds beautiful, but have you thought to think how they are created, right? Diamonds are created through immense pressure, right? Like pressure going against the grain in the earth. I guess not against the grain, but again in the earth, right? Because we have to dig up diamonds, you know? And so it takes immense pressure of pushing on that diamond with all the correct minerals, all the correct things in time. And over time of a lot of pressure, the beautiful diamond is created. Well, challenges shape us, right? They shape us like that. You know, sometimes the challenges that you face shape you into a more resilient person who can then shine brightly if you choose to do your own work or to not allow the challenges to bring you down, at least not forever, right? Because we're all going to face challenges in our lives. It's inevitable. Um, when you face these difficult challenges, like I know in the middle of it, it feels so bad, right? And it doesn't feel sometimes like you're gonna get through it and like you're gonna become stronger. But just like the diamond, we are capable of emerging stronger and even more valuable to ourselves and to the world by going through those challenges and those hardships. So, a story for you. As many of you know, my name is Tani Manuel, and I am a self love coach because I started this journey realizing I didn't love myself. I realized in the messy middle of my divorce that I really gave up my whole life, my whole dreams, my whole desires for like a fake fantasy that we had been creating, right? And in that messy middle, it felt so ugly. Like I was in an abusive relationship, there was domestic violence, we had a very young child. I was going through this like, oh my goodness, like, is there anything I can do? Like, how am I going to be a single mom through this experience? Like, how am I going to be a single mom? Like, I never wanted to be a single mom, right? Like, that's why I got married. But when I was in that messy middle, it was almost like I was unraveling the knot, right? Like, first, it was like all these external things, and like, there's like that Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? Like, the baseline is I needed to feel safe and I needed to have shelter and I needed to have those basic needs met that we all need to live a good life. And while I wasn't getting those needs met, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel like I had a safe place to be, even though like I have a home. Like I still live in the same home I did when I was married, but I actually feel safe now, right? Like now this is my own private space and I get to live here. And if I have things come up, then they're my things. If my daughter has things come up, they're her things. I have a great support network with my parents, which is great. But when I started unraveling that knot of like, oh my gosh, like not only is it that my marriage is poor, that I had a negative relationship, right? But it boiled down like as I unraveled that knot, it was like I was the one that said, let's just ignore all the red flags and let's move forward into this relationship that the actions and the words didn't match, you know? So ladies, red flag, right? We want to make steer clear of negative relationships. So when I was in that messy middle, like I ignored all those things. But as I unraveled the knot, I realized that I was ignoring those things. And the biggest thing about it was is that I didn't love myself, that I chose to, like I mentioned, forfeit all my life's desires, all my life's dreams for something that wasn't actually aligned with my truth, which was aligned with my goals, right? And if you haven't really started your journey yet, I would encourage you to get that free PDF for that values upgrade. I can drop the link in the description box, but get yourself that values upgrade. I like to look at my values like every 6 months and make sure I'm still aligned with the values that I'm choosing to live with. And I think I'm going to start adding a couple more as like a forefront just to kind of like bring them up and to say, like, is this the type of woman I want to be? Is this the type of life I want to have? Right. Um, and sometimes when we're in the messy middle, it's hard to remember that you have to learn to have a little bit of fun because you can't wait for everything to be perfect before you start to have some fun. Like, realistically, if we were waiting for everything to be perfect, we would never have any fun. We would never have a life. We would never do anything worthwhile that actually brought us joy because few times in life do we actually have a season where like everything is going smoothly, everything is going perfect, right? Yeah, I think so. If you can relate, type I can relate in the comments. Um, so as you start to unravel those things, when I first started my journey to self-love, I realized that I kind of gave up doing fun things too, which is why we're talking about it, right? Like we have to learn to take care of ourselves in a fun way. So what brings you joy? What makes things fun for your life? Okay? I know for me, like when I was in my relationship, we did a lot of fun things. Like we would go to concerts together. That was probably one of the reasons we stayed together for so long, right? Because we had these social, fun, bonding experiences, which really I'm surprised it was bonding because like I would go and like do my thing with the girls and he would go do his thing with the boys. And like that was our bonding and we would go out and socialize, but like we did have fun. That was fun. That was our fun together. And then, COVID happened. The whole world came to a stop, right? no more concerts, no more shows. I was very much pregnant when COVID happened. And so not only did we stop having fun in those senses, but we also became new parents. And for any parents in the room or watching the replay, you know what it's like. You have a baby and like all of your life goes to that baby, especially those first 2 years. Like you feel like you barely can do anything except for be there for that baby, right? And at least that's how I was. Like I gave up everything to be there for my baby, which I would love and I would never regret. I think being a present mom, especially those first 2 years is like everything, right? Um, yeah. So we went from having fun to not having any fun. I went from taking care of my own needs to taking care of all of my children's needs, my child's needs. I only have one child right now. Um, and during that whole mess, it felt like so much, right? It felt like, oh my goodness, how am I going to survive this phase of life? Well, you got to remember to have fun. It makes it go better, right? So I would have fun with my little person. Like we go do fun things. We like to go to the aquarium. It's one of our favorite places to go. So that we can go explore new things, right? And that's where I was gonna go with this, right? Is that sometimes we don't know what we like anymore. We've given up everything around us for the people around us that we don't even know what brings us joy anymore. So for me, I started exploring different activities that really embraced who I was and brought me joy and love to myself, right? So I'd make time to go to the coffee shop, drink some tea or coffee with the book that I wanted to read or that I was reading, or a notebook, and I would journal. I like to write poetry sometimes, so I'd go to a coffee shop and write some poetry. I've written a few poems, like especially during my ugly divorce in the messy middle, that like, wow, they felt so deep in such short words, and just painting the story of where I had been in those poems was like such a releasing experience, right? And like you don't have to write poetry or anything, but even just writing out your thoughts can be fun, or painting, like that's a great creative outlet to get your emotions out as well as have fun, right? There's so many things. Photo shoots, I started doing photo shoots again. I started going out with some girlfriends again, although admittedly, some of the girlfriends I had at the time, I realized that not only was my relationship toxic, but so were the relationships of my friendships I was in. Can anybody relate? Anybody got some toxic friends out there? Say that, yeah, unfortunately, or yeah, me in the comments. Um, and I was learning to love myself. I was learning to have fun with it. The more I started to become more of who I was again, the easier it was to leave that phase behind of my life, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We have to embrace ourselves. We have to embrace that we are now on a journey to change, to become more confident, empowered women that are resilient. That no matter how many challenges we face and how much pressure we face, that if we do the work inside of us, inside the earth, like the earth does to us, that we can still shine so brightly like a diamond, right? Shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. What song is that? That's Rihanna song or something. So just a quick statistic for you ladies. The American Psychology Association states that engaging in activities that bring joy and fun, like a hobby or socializing, if you are engaging those activities, there are a 40 they like those people are have a 45% more likely are 45% more likely, I'm sorry, I can't talk today, to effectively manage stress. That sounds like a pretty good idea, especially if we're talking about challenges, right? Challenging times are stressful. So why is that, right? Well, it's because joyful activities boost endorphins and they help reduce your stress hormones, which then allows us to navigate these challenges better. Like, could it really be that so simple? Yeah, it can be, right? So I encourage you, if you've been having a season of challenge, to find a fun activity for you, whether that's dancing in your room by yourself blasting your favorite song or songs. I love me some Shakira, Shakira, Shakira. I always do me dancing. Even at work, I got like a headphone and I'm just like bobbing my head and like, okay, I just shake my hips too, like I can't help it. Like I just want to have fun. I want to love life, right? And as women, especially, like we want that. We want to enjoy our lives, right? Like the feminine inside of us wants to have fun and wants to play. And if you are not allowing that fun side of you to come out, then you're living in your masculine energy too much, right? Like I always loved the movie Burlesque because they just have so much fun in that. They're singing and then they're getting their makeup done, and it's like that girl, like the way Cher explains it, right? It's like your art, like your face is a canvas. Like you're just painting your face so that you feel like you're bringing out the real beauty inside of you more. And none of us need makeup. But like, isn't it fun to do our makeup however it is that we like it? I know I love these cat wings. Like maybe I'm aging myself because like supposedly thick eyeliner is like not cool anymore, but I don't care about that. This is what I like, and that's what matters, right? Like, sure, maybe one day I won't like that, and that's cool, and I can do it however I want then. But for now, until then, give me all the cat wings and the pinup stuff, and I love it all. So I want to leave you with the framework today, ladies, and that framework is going to be joy. So if you brought your notebook, or your pen, go get one. If you didn't, grab a paper and write down joy, Joy. So we're going to put J as the journey through challenges, right? So we have to embrace life's ups and downs as part of the journey, right? So if you're here in the comments or in live, please feel free to share a story in the comments of an overcoming, about how you are overcoming a challenge in your life. I personally have overcome a ton of challenges. Like I mentioned, that divorce was difficult. Bringing it back before the divorce, like I was an only child growing up, and there were so many times that I just felt like, why am I an only child? Like this is so hard. I don't want to be an only child. Not that I really had a choice in the fact, right? And I know my mom wanted more kids, but she just wasn't able to. Like that was a down. I had a lot of down years when I just kept asking for a sibling, wishing and waiting and wanting, and I didn't get to have that. Now, looking back, I feel like learning to be alone and to navigate the aloneness that I felt my whole life is kind of like part of the journey that led me to here. Because I strongly want you to believe, Women Warrior, that you are not alone on the journey. So don't allow yourself to feel like you're the only one that's ever gone through a particular hardship or a particular experience. Because this world has like so many people in the world, and not to like downplay each of our own experiences, because each of our own experiences is so important for our own self and the life around us, like the lives around us, right? But someone in the world has had to experience an almost identical, similar experience or challenge that you have. Like, I am not beyond myself to say that other women have had probably worse domestic case violence situations than I have. Other women are also single moms. Other women have also gone through an ugly divorce where they needed to get a protective order just to be okay and to like make a point that this relationship is over, right? In fact, they probably had it worse than I did in some ways. But it's not about comparing our lives to others, right? It's about finding support within those similarities, right? So for journeying through the challenges, I want you to think of this. I want you to think of the river's path, flowing obstacles, flowing through obstacles and finding the way forward, right? If there's always water, that river's always going to find the lowest point. No matter if a big rock or a big stone gets in the way, or if some overgrowth happens, or some beavers come along and start building a dam, that water is going to find a way through. It's going to find a way through and forward. So you can be that river too, right? You can find a way forward through any challenge, especially if you want to. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we don't want to. But that leads me into O for joy. You have to be open to positive experiences. Okay. So stay open to joy and positive moments, even through hardships, right? So I would encourage you to write something in the comments or even journal this on your own, but to do some gratitude journaling to highlight your daily positive moments. So for me, my positive moment today is getting to be here with you ladies. Admittedly, I think I might be the only one here, and I'm totally talking to a screen and talking to my future viewers. Hashtag team replay. Where you at, women warriors? I'm here with you. I love you so much. Thank you for your time. I might be here live by myself, but I'm thankful for your time because you're watching this hashtag replay. I'm so excited. I love you. And it's an amazing feeling to know that I get to experience this journey with each and every one of you, right? So be open to positive experiences. And same thing, right? Like if you've done something, like let's see, what's a good example I could say for here? So let's see here. So the metaphor I had prepared here says opening a window. So you have to open a window and allow light and fresh air into a room sometimes. Like I know when I cook something and if I burn it, I'm opening that window quick, right, to try to let some of that burnt smell out and allow in some fresh air. The light is kind of hard in my situation because this example doesn't really say much about light, but at the same time, like I live in a basement. So in the morning, sometimes I shut everything down, right? Like, especially if I want to sleep in, like I'm closing all the curtains, I'm pulling down the blinds because I have one that like pulls up and down. And in the morning time, I do just that. I open up the window so that I can let light in, right? It clears the darkness. So you have to be open to allowing the light in. So while we're removing ex toxic people, we also want to look for things that enlighten us, that make us feel more joy, that help us feel the light in the world, right? I don't know about you guys. I'm Christian, so I always have to open my window to God, to Jesus, to the creator, to spirit, the universe. Like when I start, like even just like if you go into the mountains and you just like look at that beauty that the world has around us. Like, tell me the world isn't beautiful, especially here in Salt Lake, you guys. It is so beautiful here. I love it. The mountains, I will never get sick of the mountains. It's just so beautiful. And you have to remember, like, not all of our experiences have to always be negative, right? Like, I changed my circle of friends a lot. And so I started going places by myself because I lost a lot of friends during that messy middle through the divorce. And I had to find positive experiences out in the world by myself. And it's so much fun. I love taking myself out to dinner. I love going to a coffee shop, spending some time there. My favorite local coffee shop is Greenhouse Effect up on 3300 South and like 900 East. The best place ever. I met some awesome people there. I've got some friends I made there at the greenhouse, like some older men that just hang around there. But they're just so fun to talk to. Like we can talk about like anything, right? And they'll share experiences, life experiences, things that they've gone through, and that's so much fun. So why enjoy is to yearn for growth, right? We have to continuously work on our personal growth and the power of a growth mindset. Because I know for me, when I was stuck, I didn't do anything. I just had a mind garden full of weeds, right? Like the I'm not good enough, the I suck, the like I'm never gonna be better. Like, why can't I ever get this right? Why can't he do that? Like, those were all weeds in my mind garden, right? So I had to pull all those weeds out and started working on setting my own short-term and long-term personal development goals, right? Like, I was very codependent when I was married. Didn't even know what codependent was. I didn't know I had that problem. I always thought I was just like Miss Independent, don't need a man kind of girl until I ended up with someone that I needed to be with them. I needed to give up all of my life to be with him, to put him on a pedestal and to create the fantasy life and like dream we had talked so much about. Yeah. Um, so I finally grew. I started to grow, right? I started to work on my codependency through CODA, Codependence Anonymous. So if you feel like, what is CODA? What is codependency? But like we just related to what I had to say, I would encourage you to look up CODA. It was better than free therapy for me. I mean, it was like free therapy, like in a way, because you get to express yourself, you get to hear about what people are going through, and then you're like, oh, I'm not alone. Oh, so this spiraling mind that just like rabbit holes down is normal for this group of people. It's so nice to not feel like you're alone, right? Um, so I know for me, I had short-term goals, right? Like, ladies, we're talking self-care here, right? Embracing self-love. My short-term goals for a while was like floss your teeth every day. Get up and take a shower today. Don't allow myself to be depressed to the point that I'm not even taking a shower and washing my hair, right? Like those can be short-term goals that you set for yourself. Today I'm going to clean one part of this bedroom. That's a short-term goal, but it's a goal aligned with growing, especially if you've been in a place of darkness where you can't do any of that. So you have to kind of think about wanting to yearn for growth, like planting seeds, right? You're growing and evolving over time. You don't only plant a seed and then see the tree the next day. No, my darlings, it takes time, right? And the best part about planting a seed, and I love this, I believe it's Steve Harvey that coined this term, but seeds, right? So you bury a seed in dirt, right? We all need some dirt in our life because the dirt feels dark and sometimes moist and wet, like cry lots of tears, right? Sometimes there's a lot of tears. Um, but the dirt isn't like just garbage most of the time. There's nutrients in that dirt. In that time of darkness, there's nutrients that are forming us, right? It's creating that pressure, that diamond within us, right? So you got to remember that we all need some dirt to grow. We need to have a little bit of hardships and some positive experiences so that we can then like be this little seed that gets watered because we're watering ourselves with good knowledge, good things, right? I know for me it was a lot of positive affirmations, a lot of self-care practices, a lot of learning and reading about like what narcissism was because I, you know, not to diagnose people, but I felt like there was a lot of characteristics in my previous friendships and partners about narcissism, learning about how to take care of myself, learning why my brain worked the way it did with CODA, right? Like learning these different things about myself, like those things that triggered me, like why was I triggered by that? Oh, because I have a fear of rejection. Oh, because I have a fear of abandonment because I was alone for so long as an only child. And growing up, I was like the only brown kid with dark hair, without any siblings, in a very LDS Mormon neighborhood. I felt like I wasn't allowed to play with the other kids because they were Mormon and I wasn't. So I was being rejected, right? Or then we had the small group of non-Mormon kids and they all had siblings, so whenever it was like time to pick people on games and turns, like I was always last getting picked because they always pick their sibling first. Sure, it makes sense. Sure, it doesn't feel like a big deal, right? Like now it's not because I'm grown. I've learned to love myself. I've learned to be here practicing talking to you ladies here on replay, hashtag team replay. Like I'm alone, but I'm never actually alone. I'm just by myself because I know you're here with me. I know all the thousands of people in the world are here with me. I know my Creator, my Jesus, my Holy Spirit, the God that I believe in and I love. He is with me always and forever. My daughter's not here right now, but she's with me. You know, I am not alone, and neither are you, woman warrior. So you're in for that growth. I want to leave you again with a little thought, a challenge to write down so that we can do a little bit of work here. This is like a workshop live. So I would love for you to write down one challenge that you are facing and one small practice that you can implement today for your self love. One self love practice that you can implement today or tomorrow, because it's getting kind of late here and I don't know when you watch this, but that you can implement as you overcome one of the challenges in your life. For me, that's here, baby. That's me being here with you, implementing that self love into the world. Like the self love I speak of isn't like a oh just me, oh it's whatever, right? Like it's not a self-centered self love. For me, it's about loving myself the way my creator loves me and to speak my truth to try to help remind all the beautiful women out there. And, there's men too that need to hear this type of message that you matter, you're worthy, you're loved, you're enough. You deserve to live your best life. You deserve to chase your dreams. You deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, integrity, dignity. You deserve to feel safe in your own home. You deserve so many good things in your life. And if for some reason you don't feel like you deserve those things, then I encourage you, woman warriors, set up an empowerment call with me today. I will drop the link to my Calendly because you deserve to feel all those beautiful things I just experienced, like just expressed. This is our one life experience here on earth right now. Do you really want to spend it the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 months, depressed, anxious, and resentful, frustrated, not loving who you are, just putting up with people's toxic, negative behaviors around in your life? No, none of us do. I did that for 7 years. 7 years. And it was the longest 7 years of my life. Those 7 years felt like hell. I'm already like, wow, I've been separated for 3 years. Okay. That seventh year and the first year of those 3 years, they kind of are mixed together. But man, was that last year hell? Like going to court, let me tell you, ladies, it is not fun. But you got to find the joy in it, right? You got to find the fun in the moment. So, like, I had bought a couple cute shirts to wear, like professional white, like make myself look good for court. Because, like, if you're going to be in court, you might as well look cute, right? Don't want to just go up in there looking like ragged. I mean, if you do, that's your choice. But I would recommend loving yourself and putting yourself together as much as possible, right? So I'd love to hear in the comments, ladies, what's one challenge you're facing and one thing you're going to take on, or like what's one practice you're going to use towards your self-love. And if you are struggling, like I said, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. I have a free empowerment call to see if we're even right to work with each other. Or if you prefer to go at your own pace and you just want to watch some videos, I did create a digital course that you can start today and go through it on your own pace. And then if you feel like you need any more support, then you can hit me up and we can do a one-on-one coaching session after that. And right now, or at least probably through the end of this year, I will be doing 33% off my full course, Breaking Out of Negative Cycles to find love and happiness, joy and happiness. I don't even remember the name of the title, guys. I'm sorry. But if you are interested in that, let me know. I put it in the description, and you're welcome to get that. I also have a starter kit, a Breaking Out of Negative Cycles starter kit, which is like the core deep dive work on that, like breaking out of that negative spiral. And it all starts with you, babe. It starts with you making that choice to say, this is your year. There's like 3.5 months left of 2024, and you deserve to find the joy and embrace that self love so that you can live your best life. Much love, women warriors. Gonna be a short lesson workshop today. And I appreciate you all so much.